Question 1. Liability claims. A customer files a liability claim following a slip and fall accident at a retail store. The store's manager claims that the incident occurred because the claimant was not paying attention and was texting while walking. As the claims adjuster, how should you proceed in evaluating the liability of the store? A. Immediately deny the claim because the claimant was distracted. B. Determine if the store owner had a duty to ensure the premises were safe and investigate if negligence occurred. C. Deny the claim unless there are witnesses to the accident. D. Accept the claim without further investigation since it occurred on the store's premises. Answer. B. Explanation. In liability claims, an adjuster must evaluate whether negligence occurred by reviewing if the store owner had a duty of care, whether that duty was breached, and if the breach caused the injury. The fact that the claimant was texting while walking is a contributing factor, but does not automatically absolve the store owner. The store is required to ensure that the premises are safe for customers, and any hazardous condition, like a wet floor, that contributed to the fall should be investigated. The absence of witnesses does not automatically mean that claim is denied. Denial should only occur if clear evidence of no liability is found. Question 2. Scenario question. Workers' compensation claims. Mr. Thomas is a factory worker who has been employed for 10 years. Recently, he suffered an injury to his right hand while using machinery, which required surgery. After 2 months of recovery, Mr. Thomas returns to work but is still experiencing pain, limiting his ability to perform his usual duties. Mr. Thomas has been told that he may qualify for permanent partial disability (PPD) benefits. How should you, as the adjuster, proceed with his workers' compensation claim? A. Deny the claim since he has returned to work. B. Assess the degree of disability and consult with the treating physician to determine the appropriate benefit amount. C. Automatically approve permanent partial disability benefits based on the doctor's report. D. Approve temporary total disability benefits as he is still experiencing pain, but deny permanent partial disability benefits. Answer. B. Explanation. As an adjuster, you must evaluate the extent of Mr. Thomas's disability based on medical records and an assessment from his treating physician. The fact that he returned to work does not automatically disqualify him from permanent partial disability benefits, especially if he is still experiencing pain and limitations. The degree of his disability (PPD) must be quantified through the physician's assessment of his functional ability and permanent impairment. Simply approving benefits based on a doctor's report or denying them without a thorough evaluation would violate claims handling best practices and potentially the law. Question 3. Claims processed. You are handling a property damage claim where the policyholder's house was severely damaged in a windstorm. After inspecting the property, you notice that some damage appears to be from previous storms, not the current event. What is your next step as an adjuster? A. Approve the claim for all damages, including the previous storm damage. B. Deny the claim entirely because some of the damage is from a prior event. C. Approve the current windstorm damage and exclude the previous storm damage from the claim. D. Wait for further instructions from the policyholder before deciding what to include in the claim. Answer. C. Explanation. In property claims, adjusters are responsible for determining which damages are covered by the current event. In this case, the current windstorm may only cover damage caused directly by the storm. The damage from previous storms is typically excluded unless the policy specifically covers it. It is important to separate the current damage from any pre-existing damage to avoid paying out for non-covered losses. Proving all damages A would violate policy terms, and denying the entire claim B would be improper unless the damage is entirely unrelated to the current event. Waiting for further instructions D is not appropriate without proper documentation and investigation. Question 4. Property claims. You are reviewing a homeowner's claim for water damage caused by a burst pipe during the winter. The homeowner is claiming that the damage should be covered under the property insurance policy, but you notice that the homeowner did not maintain the heating system and did not properly insulate the pipes. How should you proceed with the claim? A. Deny the claim entirely due to lack of maintenance. B. Approve the claim for water damage but exclude the damages caused by freezing. C. Approve the entire claim as the policy covers all water damage. D. Deny the claim because of negligence in maintaining the heating system. Answer. B. Explanation. Homeowners insurance typically covers water damage from burst pipes, but many policies include a provision that excludes damage from a lack of maintenance or failure to properly maintain the property, such as not keeping the heating system functional or not insulating pipes properly. In this case, the policyholder's failure to maintain the heating system and protect the pipes could impact coverage, especially if the policy includes exclusions for neglect. You would approve the claim for the water damage but may need to exclude any damage resulting from negligence. Question 5. Loss evaluation and estimation. In the event of a fire in a residential property, the adjuster must determine the replacement cost of the damaged items. If an item is damaged beyond repair, what is the key factor that should be used to calculate the settlement amount? A. The actual cash value of the item at the time of loss. B. The depreciated value of the item. C. The replacement cost of the item. D. The original purchase price of the item. Answer. C. Explanation. When determining the settlement for damaged property, particularly when the item is beyond repair, adjusters must use the replacement cost, the amount required to replace the item with a new one of similar quality and kind, if the policy provides for replacement cost coverage. Actual cash value or depreciation is used only if specified in the policy or if the policyholder has chosen that coverage type. The original purchase price D is irrelevant because it does not account for depreciation or current market conditions. Question 6. Fraud detection and prevention. During the investigation of a claim, you notice inconsistencies in the policyholder's statement about the events leading up to the damage. The policyholder's timeline does not match the physical evidence. What is your next step as an adjuster? A. Approve the claim with a note about the discrepancies. B. Deny the claim immediately due to the inconsistency. C. Investigate further and document any evidence of fraud or misrepresentation before making a determination. D. Request that the policyholder provide additional information without further investigation. Answer. C. Explanation. As an adjuster, you are obligated to investigate any red flags or inconsistencies that could indicate potential fraud. This includes discrepancies between the policyholder's statements and the physical evidence. Rather than immediately denying or approving the claim, you must gather more information, document all findings, and potentially report any suspicions of fraud to the appropriate authorities. This helps protect against fraudulent claims and ensures proper claim handling. Question 7. Automobile insurance claims. A policyholder is involved in an auto accident where their vehicle is damaged and another party is at fault. The policyholder's car is not drivable and the repair costs are estimated to be $5,000. However, the policyholder's vehicle is worth only $4,000. How should you proceed with the claim under the policy's collision coverage? A. Approve the $5,000 repair cost as per the policy's collision coverage. B. Deny the claim because the vehicle's repair cost exceeds its value. C. Settle the claim for the $4,000 actual cash value of the vehicle. D. Approve the claim based on the policy's total loss provisions. Answer. C. Explanation. Under most collision coverage policies, if the repair cost exceeds the actual cash value (CV) of the vehicle is considered the total loss. In this case, because the repair costs $5,000 exceed the value of the vehicle $4,000, the policyholder is entitled to a payment of the CV $4,000. Proven the $5,000 repair cost would violate the coverage terms, as the policy typically doesn't cover repairs that exceed the vehicle's value. The claim is settled for the vehicle's actual cash value rather than the repair costs. Question 8. Adjusters reporting and communication. During a claim investigation, you gather all the necessary documentation, but notice that the policyholder has made inconsistent statements regarding their damages. What should be your approach when preparing the final report for the claim? A. Omit any reference to inconsistencies in the final report to avoid upsetting the policyholder. B. Document the inconsistencies clearly in the report, explaining why they were relevant to the claim evaluation. C. Write the report in a way that defends the policyholder's statements even if they contradict the evidence. D. Approve the claim with the understanding that inconsistencies are typical in all claims. Answer. B. Explanation. The adjuster's primary responsibility is to prepare a report that accurately reflects the facts of the case. If there are inconsistencies in the policyholder's statements, they must be documented and explained in the final report. This ensures transparency in the claims process and helps avoid potential fraud or misrepresentation. Failing to document the inconsistencies, defending questionable statements, C. or approving the claim without addressing discrepancies, D. would violate ethical standards and proper claims handling procedures. Question 9. Oklahoma-specific issues in insurance adjusting. In Oklahoma, which of the following would likely require a separate endorsement under a standard homeowners insurance policy? A. Coverage for damages caused by a tornado. B. Coverage for damage from flooding. C. Coverage for windstorm damage. D. Coverage for fire damage. Answer: B. Explanation. Standard homeowners insurance policies typically exclude flooding unless a separate endorsement or policy is purchased. In Oklahoma, this is especially important due to the frequent occurrence of flooding and storms. Coverage for tornadoes A, windstorms C, and fire damage D is generally included in most standard homeowners policies, but flooding requires special consideration. Question 10. Settlement and negotiation techniques. During the negotiation of a liability claim, you find that the claimant's legal counsel is demanding a settlement amount that exceeds the policy limits. What is your best course of action as the claims adjuster? A. Immediately accept the settlement demand to avoid further complications. B. Attempt to negotiate a settlement amount that is within the policy limits and protects the insurer's interests. C. Deny the settlement request outright and refuse to negotiate. D. Accept the settlement demand, but only after consulting with the legal department. Answer: B. Explanation. As an adjuster, you are responsible for negotiating settlements that align with the policy limits while protecting the insurer's financial interests. Demanding a settlement that exceeds the policy limits is not a standard practice unless special circumstances warrant it. The best approach is to try to negotiate within the policy limits to avoid unnecessary exposure and legal complications. Consulting with the legal department D is a good step, but the focus should still be on a fair settlement within the policy coverage. Question 11. Liability coverage in property insurance. A homeowner's property has been damaged due to an electrical malfunction which was caused by a faulty appliance. The homeowner's liability coverage is invoked. What is the best explanation for how this claim will be handled under the policy? A. The claim will be covered under property damage coverage. B. The claim will be covered under the homeowner's liability coverage for property damage. C. The homeowner's liability coverage will not apply as the incident was due to faulty appliances. D. The claim will be covered under the homeowner's liability, but only for third-party damages. Answer A. Explanation. The property damage caused by the electrical malfunction will generally be covered under the homeowner's property damage coverage, not liability coverage. Liability coverage usually applies when the homeowner is responsible for causing injury or damage to someone else's property or person. In this case, the damage was to the homeowner's property, and therefore property damage coverage applies. Question 12. Business insurance claims. A small business has sustained damage to its property following a break-in, resulting in stolen equipment and vandalized office space. The business has both property and business interruption insurance. How should the claim be processed? A. The property insurance will cover the stolen equipment and vandalism, while business interruption insurance covers the loss of income. B. Only the property insurance will apply to both the stolen items and the interruption of business. C. The business interruption insurance will cover both the stolen items and any damage to the property. D. Both policies will pay separately for stolen items, but business interruption coverage will only apply if the business is completely shut down for a certain period. Answer A. Explanation. The stolen equipment and vandalism will be covered under the property insurance, while the business interruption insurance will cover the loss of income if the business cannot operate due to the damage. These are two distinct types of coverage, and the claim should be handled separately for each. Question 13. Flood insurance requirements. In a region prone to flooding, what is typically required to obtain flood insurance for a residential property? A. Flood insurance can only be purchased through the National Flood Insurance Program and FIP. B. Flood insurance must be added as an endorsement to the homeowner's insurance policy. C. Flood insurance is automatically included in the homeowner's policy if the property is located in a flood zone. D. Flood insurance must be purchased separately regardless of the property's location. Answer D. Explanation. Flood insurance must typically be purchased separately from a standard homeowner's insurance policy, even in flood-prone areas. In certain areas, particularly those with high flood risk, flood insurance through the National Flood Insurance Program and FIP is often required by lenders. However, it is not automatically included in homeowners' policies. Question 14. Auto insurance coverage. A policyholder's car is involved in an accident and is damaged beyond repair. The policyholder has collision coverage. What is the insurer's responsibility under collision coverage? A. Pay the actual cash value of the vehicle. B. Pay the repair costs regardless of the vehicle's value. C. Pay the replacement cost of the vehicle even if it exceeds the policy limits. D. Pay the total loss amount based on the car's original purchase price. Answer A. Explanation. Under collision coverage, if a vehicle is totaled in an accident, the insurer will typically pay the actual cash value (SCV) of the vehicle, which counts for depreciation. This is the most common approach unless the policy has specific provisions for total loss settlements based on replacement cost or other criteria. Question 15. Insurance fraud detection. A policyholder submits a claim for damages to their home due to a fire. During the investigation, you uncover that the fire appears to have started under suspicious circumstances. What should your next step be? A. Immediately deny the claim as fraud is suspected. B. Approve the claim but inform the policyholder of the suspicion. C. Continue with the investigation. Document all findings and report the case to the appropriate authorities if necessary. D. Ask the policyholder for additional evidence to support their claim. Answer C. Explanation. If fraud is suspected, the adjuster should continue investigating and document all findings thoroughly. If the investigation uncovers enough evidence of fraud, the case should be reported to the proper authorities. It is crucial to avoid jumping to conclusions or prematurely denying the claim without completing a thorough investigation. Question 16. Umbrella insurance. The homeowner's standard liability insurance policy provides $300,000 in coverage, but they have purchased an umbrella policy that adds $1 million in coverage. If the homeowner is sued for $1,500,000 in damages, how will the umbrella insurance work? The umbrella policy will cover the full $1,500,000, and the homeowner's liability policy will not be used. B. The umbrella policy will cover $1,200,000 and the homeowner's liability will cover the first $300,000. C. The umbrella policy will cover $1,500,000 in full and the homeowner's policy will cover $300,000. D. The homeowner's liability insurance will cover the entire amount of the claim. Answer B. Explanation. The umbrella policy provides additional coverage over and above the primary liability coverage. In this case, the homeowner's primary liability coverage will cover the first $300,000 of the damages, and the umbrella policy will cover the remaining $1,200,000 up to the limit of the umbrella policy. Question 17. Insurance policy exclusions. Which of the following is most likely to be excluded from a standard homeowner's insurance policy? A. Vandalism caused by a neighbor. B. Damage to personal property from an earthquake. C. Fire damage to the home. D. Theft of personal property. Answer B. Explanation. Earthquake damage is typically excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies. If a homeowner wants coverage for earthquake damage, they must purchase a separate earthquake endorsement or policy. Vandalism A, fire damage C, and theft D are usually covered under standard policies, barring specific exclusions. Question 18. Risk assessment and policy underwriting. During the underwriting process, what is the primary goal of evaluating an applicant's risk profile for an auto insurance policy? A. To determine the maximum coverage limits for the policyholder. B. To assess the risk of financial loss to the insurance company. C. To set the price of the policy based on the applicant's income. D. To ensure that the applicant's driving history is identical to others in their age group. Answer B. Explanation. The primary goal of underwriting is to assess the risk posed by an applicant and determine the potential for financial loss to the insurer. This involves evaluating factors such as driving history, vehicle type, location, and the applicant's overall risk. While underwriting may influence coverage limits and policy pricing, the focus is on evaluating the potential financial risk to the insurer. Question 19. Claim settlements and deductibles. A homeowner submits a claim for damage to their roof caused by a windstorm. The damage totals $12,000 and the homeowner's deductible is $1,000. How much will the insurance company pay for the claim? A. $12,000 as the deductible is not applied to roof damage. B. $13,000 with the deductible added to the settlement amount. C. $11,000 as the deductible is subtracted from the total damage amount. D. $1,000 as the deductible covers the total damage. Answer C. Explanation. The insurance company will subtract the deductible from the total damage amount. In this case, the homeowner's deductible is $1,000, so the insurer will pay $11,000, which is the total damage minus the deductible. Question 20. Workers' compensation insurance. An employee is injured while performing their job and requires medical treatment. Under workers' compensation insurance, what should the employer do? A. Pay for the employees and medical treatment out of pocket. B. Provide workers' compensation insurance details to the employee so they can file the claim directly with the insurer. C. Deny the claim if the injury occurred outside of work hours. D. Require the employee to pay for the treatment and file a claim for reimbursement. Answer: B. Explanation. Under workers' compensation, the employer is required to provide the employee with the necessary information and documentation to file a claim with the workers' compensation insurance carrier. The insurance will then cover the medical expenses and lost wages related to the work-related injury. Question 21. Types of auto insurance coverage. A policyholder has purchased full coverage auto insurance, which includes comprehensive collision and liability coverage. Which of the following scenarios would most likely be covered under comprehensive coverage? A. Damage caused by the driver colliding with a tree. B. Theft of the vehicle. C. Damage caused by the driver hitting another vehicle. D. Damage to the vehicle from a fallen tree branch during a windstorm. Answer: B. Explanation. Comprehensive coverage typically covers non-collision events such as theft, vandalism, and weather-related damage. Damage from a fallen tree branch would likely fall under comprehensive coverage, while damage caused by the driver hitting a tree or another vehicle would typically fall under collision or liability coverage. Question 22. Exclusions in life insurance policies. Which of the following is typically excluded from a standard life insurance policy? A. Death caused by natural causes. B. Death due to a pre-existing medical condition within the first 2 years. C. Death caused by an accident while driving. D. Death due to a non-fatal illness. Answer: B. Explanation. Many life insurance policies have a contestability period, usually 2 years, during which the insurer can investigate and deny claims related to pre-existing conditions or misrepresentation on the application. Death due to natural causes, A. Accidents, C. Or illness, D. is usually covered, unless excluded under specific policy terms. Question 23. Homeowners insurance and liability. A guest is injured in the policyholder's home while using the trampoline in the backyard. Which type of coverage would most likely cover the guest's medical expenses? A. Property damage coverage. B. Liability coverage. C. Loss of use coverage. D. Medical payments to others coverage. Answer: D. Explanation. Many homeowners policies provide medical payments to others coverage, which pays for medical expenses if someone is injured on the property, regardless of who is at fault. Liability coverage, B, could also apply if the homeowner is found to be at fault, but medical payments to others is typically a separate, smaller benefit for injuries that happen on the property. Question 24. Life insurance beneficiaries. A policyholder has named their spouse as the primary beneficiary on their life insurance policy. However, the policyholder gets divorced but does not update the beneficiary designation. What happens if the policyholder dies? A. The ex-spouse will still receive the death benefit. B. The death benefit will go to the policyholder's estate. C. The policy will be void due to the divorce. D. The new spouse will automatically receive the death benefit. Answer: A. Explanation. Unless the policyholder specifically updates the beneficiary designation after divorce, the ex-spouse remains the beneficiary under most life insurance policies. The death benefit would typically go to the ex-spouse regardless of the divorce, unless state law or the policy provides a different ruling. Question 25. Underinsured motorist coverage. An insured driver is hit by another driver who only has $10,000 in liability coverage, but the insured's damages total $20,000. How would underinsured motorist coverage handle this situation? A. The insured's insurance would cover the remaining $10,000. B. The insured must pay the remaining $10,000 out of pocket. C. The underinsured motorist coverage will pay for the entire $20,000. D. The claim would be denied because the other driver's insurance is still applicable. Answer: A. Explanation. Underinsured motorist coverage kicks in when the at-fault driver's liability coverage is insufficient to cover the damages. In this case, the other driver's insurance will pay $10,000 and the underinsured motorist coverage will pay the remaining $10,000 to cover the total damages. Question 26. Claims investigation process. A homeowner files a claim after a fire damages their property. The insurance adjuster believes the fire may have been intentionally set. What is the best course of action for the adjuster to take? A. Immediately deny the claim due to suspected arson. B. Continue the investigation and report findings to law enforcement if necessary. C. Approve the claim and assume the fire was accidental. D. Suggest that the homeowner contact a lawyer to handle the claim. Answer B. Explanation. If arson is suspected, the insurance adjuster should continue investigating the claim and document all findings. If there is credible evidence of arson, the adjuster should report it to law enforcement, denying the claim outright without. A full investigation could lead to legal issues for the insurer. Question 27. Health insurance premiums. Which of the following factors most directly influences the premium for an individual's health insurance policy? A. The policyholder's occupation. B. The policyholder's age. C. The policyholder's credit score. D. The number of family members covered under the policy. Answer B. Explanation. Age is one of the primary factors that influence health insurance premiums. As individuals age, they are more likely to require medical care, which increases the cost of their health insurance. Occupation A and credit score C may have some effect, but age is the most significant factor, followed by family size D. Question 20. Insurance policy endorsements. Which of the following would likely require an endorsement rider to be added to a homeowner's insurance policy? A. Basic fire damage coverage. B. Theft of personal property. C. Coverage for an expensive art collection. D. Damage from a windstorm. Answer C. Explanation. Coverage for valuable personal property such as an art collection may require an endorsement or rider to be added to the homeowner's insurance policy. Standard policies typically have coverage limits for personal property, and expensive items may need additional coverage to ensure they are fully protected. Question 29. Property insurance exclusions. A homeowner's policy excludes coverage for damage caused by earthquakes. Which of the following actions would the homeowner need to take to ensure protection against earthquake damage? A. Purchase a separate earthquake endorsement. B. Purchase flood insurance to cover earthquake damage. C. File a claim with their current insurer as the damage is still covered. D. Purchase a new homeowner's insurance policy that includes earthquake coverage. Answer A. Explanation. Earthquake damage is typically excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies. To be covered for earthquake-related losses, the homeowner would need to purchase a separate earthquake endorsement or policy. Question 30. Auto insurance and uninsured motorist coverage. A policyholder is injured in an accident with a driver who does not have insurance. What will typically happen if the policyholder has uninsured motorist coverage? A. The policyholder's own insurance will cover the medical costs and damages. B. The policyholder must file a lawsuit against the at-fault driver. C. The uninsured motorist coverage will be used only for property damage. D. The policyholder must pay for all medical expenses out of pocket. Answer A. Explanation. Uninsured motorist coverage is designed to cover the policyholder's medical costs and damages if they are involved in an accident with a driver who lacks insurance. This coverage typically applies to both medical expenses and property damage.